for happiness. The reality today is that we have umpteen possibilities to pursue happiness. Chocolate, ice creams, perfumes, shopping malls, television, to name a few. That sounds good. But I have one question. Do you think this happiness that we derive out of these options give you lasting satisfaction? I have a heads up. I am not going to endorse any spiritual guru who can show you the path for lasting happiness. Instead, I would like to seek help from psychology. I am going to talk about two concepts in happiness in the present. One is pleasure and the other one is gratification. Okay. Talking about pleasure, well, I think you are the best judge and you don't need any expert who can advise you on how to pursue pleasure in your life. Imagine about your first taste of your favorite ice cream. Imagine about the sweet aroma of the powdered coffee bean, or for that matter, think about basking in the morning sun while reading your Sunday newspaper. When you think of all these things, you get a sense of relish when these thoughts flash on your mind. So you get a sense of feeling that they are the best motivating factor for positive emotions. But is it worthwhile to build a life around all these pleasures? Do you think it would make your life worth living? The answer is no. There are reasons behind it. Pleasure has a peculiar set of properties that limits its usefulness as a source of lasting happiness. Let's talk about them. First, the pleasures are evanescent. Evanescent means momentary. They fade away quickly as soon as the external stimulus disappears. Second thing, imagine your second taste of your favorite ice cream and compare it with the first. Do you get the same delight as the first? Well, the answer is no. The reason being, the neurons in our brain, they are wired to respond to novel events. When you have it for the first time, it is registered and you are feeling delightful. When you have it for the second time, you are not so delighted because it's already registered. And to get the same kick, you need additional dose. So the problem is, it actually leads to health issues. And continuous involvement in the same pleasure leads to addiction. And that is the reason how drug addicts are being created. There is another surprising cause of pleasure, which is depression. You know that pleasure leads to depression? Well, it may be hard to explain, but I would take an example. In the wealthy nations, if you look at the wealthy nations like US, Japan and all, over the past few decades, the standard of living has increased significantly, which means there is more money coming. We all know that there is more money, there will be more happiness, right? But the fact is, there is an alarming increase of depression rate among these countries. But why is it so contradicting? Have you ever thought about it? The fact is, when there is more wealth, it naturally results in more reliance of shortcuts to happiness, easy pleasures. And thus a culture evolved, the culture of self-absorption. People started thinking so much about themselves. I will quote an example from a Himalaya, and I hope everyone would have seen. A girl started having a pimple. Then she started worrying, oh, what my boyfriend would think, what my friends would think, and she was hiding under the bed. And as relief came, that is Himalaya face wash. And then she started walking with vigor among the crowd. So, what I mean to say that people start worrying much about themselves, self-absorption. And that proved to be a hunting ground for all these advertisements. They are having a party time. They are endorsing their products, stating that they will alleviate all your worries. So, it is apt to say that materialism has actually resulted in depression. So, given all the degrees of pleasure, you might be wondering that is there no way for lasting happiness? Do you think you need to become a sage? You have to relinquish all your duties and go to some sacred mountains and perform sadhanas to get lasting happiness? No, not required. There is a way, and the way is called gratification. To explain gratification, imagine you are reading your favorite book. You are so much interested, you are so much immersed that you forget thinking about time. Time passes like anything. Time passes fast. I could compare it to Newton's third law. Newton's third law states that if you are sitting in front near a beautiful girl, you will not know the time is going past you. Such is the state of gratification. Gratification actually produces flow. When you are in gratification, you do not think about yourself. There is no self-absorption. There is lack of emotion. There is lack of consciousness. You are not even conscious of what you are doing. And yet, whatever you are doing, whatever activity that you are doing would be perfect. You are in autopilot mode. Similar to pleasure, gratification also has some peculiar set of properties. Let's look at it. First thing is, the task is challenging and requires effort. Some of the gratification apart from reading books are when you are involved in sports. People get different kind of, when they do different kind of tasks, they get gratification. Someone involved in sports, someone involved in music, and so on. And for example, if you are very much interested in your work, you will get the flow. We concentrate on the work. That is another property. There is a clear goal. When you are reading a book, you are gaining knowledge of the field. We get immediate feedback. For example, if you are rock climbing, if you don't perform well, you will fall down. You will immediately get a feedback. There is no ego, there is no I factor. Our sense of self vanishes. We focus and time stops. You never think about time. So these are the properties of gratification. Now, let me try to compare pleasure and gratification with an analogy. When you think of pleasure, I would suggest it is in consuming mode. When you are sitting in a couch and watching TV, you are not building anything for your future. You are just spending your time. You are in consuming mode. When you are engaged in gratification, you are in investment mode. Investment mode means you are basically building psychological capital for your future. Right? So, several research had consistently proved that the kids that are exhibiting high flow are the ones that make up their career, and they do absolutely exceptional in every measure of their psychological well-being. Whereas the low flow kids, the modern kids, they spend their time watching TV, hanging out the halls, and they are the future bearers of depression and alcoholism. Having known the benefits of gratification over pleasure, it is quite concerning for me to see that many people opt for pleasure instead. The reason being, pleasure is actually easy. It doesn't require any effort. You just have to sit on a couch and watch a TV. You don't have to require any effort. But gratification sometimes can be utterly stressful, and sometimes you may even have to fail. But friends, life is not a bed of roses. Sometimes you have to come out of that thought process, and for your psychological growth, you should start start putting a lot of efforts. And that is the only cure for the epidemic of depression. Thank you.